Sungai Sayong is one of the many rivers that can be found in the state of Johor. It is one of the tributaries of the main river, which is Sungai Johor, with other tributaries being Sungai Lengyu, Sungai Tiram, and Sungai Lebam. Its distance from the capital, which is Johor Bahru, is about 40 kilometers away, and the nearest towns in the area would be Kampung Munijaya, which is our access point, as well as Taman Layang-Layang. The length of Sungai Sayong is about 46.3 kilometers with a catchment area of 737.3 kilometers square. The main economic sources in this region is from oil palm plantations and poultry farms, which also produce their own fertilizers, or through local subsidiary fertilizer plants, which are ironically under the same ownership. One of the nearest plants in this area is Liu Peng Enterprise, which was infamously known to be one of the major contributors to the ammonia pollution in recent years. This incident has caused major water disruptions to all residents, as all water treatment plants had to be temporarily shut down to reduce the severity of the situation. Besides that, a reservoir burst at a biocomposite center near an oil palm plantation also caused a similar disaster. Such reoccurrences of pollution has raised the concern over the quality of Sungai Sayong. In this documentary, we will be discussing further on the pollution crisis of the river, as well as its relevant details.
The main reason of pollution was illegal poultry farm produces fertilizer by using chicken manure, which contains a lot of ammonia that polluted the water of Sungai Sayong river. Much of the fertilizer is improperly stored. The fertilizer products and chicken manure are stacked and exposed to the elements. When it rains, the water soaks these items and the water seeps into the ground and flow into the river. This leads to the high content of ammonia in the river. For that reason, 3 of water plants shut down that time. I also want to add there is one more reason that caused by oil refinery. A reservoir at a biocomposite center next to an oil palm refinery in Sezanak burst, causing the ammonia contaminated water to flow into Sungai Sayong, which is one of the creeks that supplies raw water to Sungai Johor, and Sayong 1 and Sayong 2 water treatment plants had to be shut down as it could not process the raw water due to high levels of ammonia, and Sungai Sayong has disrupted water supply to about 17,000 households in Pulau.
Today I would like to explain about the negative impacts that occur from the ammonia pollution from Sungai Sayong. Of course, the negative impact will be affected to human life, aquatic life, and also the environment itself. So, the first impact that is faced by the residents, of course, the bad smell from the poultry farm, which generated animal waste to produce the fertilizers. And also the residents here is spotted many flies around their houses, especially during the sunny days. And the worst condition is happen when during the heavy rain, in which the reservoir for processing of animal waste will be overflowed into the drain before goes to Sungai Sayong. As the waste enter Sungai Sayong, of course the water quality of the river itself will be negatively impacted. So other than that, the residents also use the water well, and as the water well is polluted by the bad smell, they have to rely only on the tap water to survive. Almost 30 fishermen also affected at Kampung or Arasi Sayong Pinang, in which they claim that their main source of income is affected due to the waste entering the river, causing the hundreds of fishes died, and the recovery process for the fishes to live in the water take about 4 to 5 years. And lastly, the river, which is located at the downstream, have to release 900 million liters of water to flush away the ammonia from the river.
Palm oil mill effluent, or also known as POME, is another contributor to the ammonia polluted at Sungai Sayong. Usually, an Arabic pond is used to treat pomade because it can remove much more of organic. Pomade contain high concentration of organic nitrogen, and the worst condition is when the excess of ammonia from this organic nitrogen dissolve in soil and cause pollution in Sungai Sayong.
As we know that most of the water treatment plant is located at the downstream, so every industry that located nearest to the Sungai Sayong must follow Standard 8 Industrial Effluent Regulation. Water treatment plant only can treat 2 parts per million concentration of ammonia, and we know that in 2019, the concentration of ammonia is really high, which causes 5 water treatment plants to be shut down. Ammonia can cause respiratory problems. It is really irritating and also corrosive. Sungai Sayong is Class 2 river in 2016, and today it is our responsibilities to preserve Sungai Sayong from pollutant and also for our future generation. Okay, right now we are getting the turbidity for Sungai Sayong river. So the turbidity is 23.9 NTU. Take the reading for DO.
The value is 2.85,
Right, 2.85. How about pH?
5.71,
So 5.71 nearest to acidic. And how about TDS?
6.55.
Okay, last one is conductivity.
Conductivity is 93.2.
Let's talk about what we can do to overcome this kind of problem, which means the ammonia disruption of Sungai Sayong River. Okay, first of all, as we all know, the chicken dungs or chicken manure is widely used in the oil palm industries. This kind of fertilizer usually contains high of ammonia and nutrients. But chicken dungs in natural conditions in fresh itself cannot be applied to the palms. It must have to be stabilized first to change it to a compost fertilizer in order to for the roots of the oil palm roots to absorb the nutrients safely and efficiently. Okay, to do that, the chicken dungs first need to be stockpiled in a one shaded area, and then that shaded area have to be protected from rain to prevent it from getting wet. And then the stockpile itself, we have to construct a buffer zone and then dig a perimeter drain in order to prevent all the leachage from the stockpile burst into other area. And then the stockpile itself, you have to place on an impervious layer to prevent this leachate from absorbing or seeping through the soil and mix with the groundwater level. Okay, and then these composing processes usually take times between 40 to 60 days. But itself have to be aerated, or the weathering processes for the bacteria inside the stockpile to take up all the oxygen for the composing processes. And then we can add EM, effective microorganism, and fly ash to stabilize the acidic condition of the stockpiles. And then the effective microorganisms to speed up the composing processes. So it is very important to collect all this leachate from the stockpiles in the treatment pond. In the treatment pond itself, we have to treat it to minimize all the nutrient content and the ammonia content before it's safely discharged to the water body. For the conclusion, all these litigation listed before this, but the main point of this issue is oil refineries, the poultry center, and then the stockpile area shouldn't be located near to the water body. It should be located far away from the water resources to reduce the risks for the public safety users.